Queer as Folk has consistently been a groundbreaking franchise, ever since Russell T Davies, yes, the showrunner for Doctor Who, first created Queer as Folk, UK, in 1999. That initial series followed the lives of a group of gay men in Manchester, England. In 2000, a US adaptation set in Pittsburgh was created. Starring Hal Sparks, Gale Harold, and Randy Harrison, the US adaptation ran for 5 seasons, and while often comedic, it also touched on serious topics impacting the gay community, including homophobic violence, the HIV/AIDS crisis, and drug addiction. In the show's final season, the crew's beloved club, Babylon, is bombed, making the final several episodes about the aftermath and fallout of the attack. Collider video of the day. Queer as Folk is now back once again with a rebooted series set in New Orleans and focusing on the LGBTQ+ community of the city coming together following a mass shooting at a popular gay bar. The series stars Jesse James Keitel, Finn Argus, and Devin Way among others. Juliette Lewis, Kim Cattrall, and Ed Begley Jr. all have recurring roles as well. Queer as Folk, 2022, debuted on Peacock on June 9, 2022. The series has received a generally positive reception from audiences and critics, with special emphasis given to the show's painfully realistic premise that closely mirrors the Pulse nightclub massacre, and the fact that the show is airing amidst a multitude of mass shootings and debates on gun ownership. For more series on LGBTQ+ communities, rebuilding, and resilience, check out these groundbreaking series. Pose, 2018 to 2021. Largely inspired by the seminal documentary Paris is Burning, Pose, created by Ryan Murphy, Brad Falchuk, and Stephen Canals, focuses on the drag ballroom culture scene of New York City in the 80s and early 90s. The performers and their found families or houses celebrate, compete, and perform against the backdrop of the AIDS crisis, the gentrification and influx of yuppies into their traditionally Black and Latinx neighborhoods, and the challenges of being LGBTQ+ in the 80s and early 90s. Pose ran for 3 seasons, during which it was nominated for and won a variety of awards, including a Primetime Emmy for Billy Porter's performance as Pray Tell, an HIV-positive MC and fashion designer, and a Golden Globe for Michaela J. Rodriguez, who plays the character of Blanca. This made Rodriguez the first transgender woman to win a Golden Globe for Best Actress. Pose is streaming on Hulu and Paris is Burning is streaming on HBO Max. Watch on Hulu. The L Word, 2004 to 2009. The L Word, a Showtime classic, is set in LA and focuses on a group of lesbian and bisexual friends. While audiences have been critical of some aspects of the show, especially the choice to make the final season a murder mystery, the series was groundbreaking when it first aired, and The Chart, a recurring graphic that shows the connections between all the people in the show, is an interesting way to demonstrate the interconnectedness of the LGBTQ+ community. A sequel series, The L Word, Generation Q, began in 2019 and was recently renewed for a 3rd season. It aims to be more inclusive of different gender identities and presentations, an area where the original series occasionally struggled. The L Word is streaming for free on Roku, and both The L Word and The L Word, Generation Q are streaming on Showtime. Watch on Roku. Euphoria, 2019 present. Euphoria stars Zendaya as Rue Bennett and focuses on her high school experience as she struggles with drug addiction and self-acceptance. Other major characters include Jules Vaughn, played by actress, model, and activist Hunter Schafer. Jules, like her actress, is a trans woman, and Schafer collaborated with Euphoria's writers to make Jules's experience as emotionally realistic as possible. While Rue and Jules' relationship is often toxic, they both, like most characters of Euphoria, are complex and nuanced individuals who are easy to empathize with even as they make horrible choices. Euphoria is streaming on HBO Max. Watch on HBO Max. It's a Sin, 2021. It's a Sin, like the original Queer as Folk, was created by Russell T. Davis. The 5-episode miniseries takes place from 1981 to 1991 and follows a group of gay men living in the shadow of the HIV/AIDS epidemic. It's a Sin stars Ollie Alexander and Omari Douglas. Neil Patrick Harris and Stephen Fry both have guest starring roles as well. The series not only won multiple awards but was also credited with increased rates of testing for HIV and other STIs. It's a Sin is streaming on HBO Max. Watch on HBO Max. Dream, 2010 to 2013. Dream was created by David Simon, creator of classics including The Wire and Generation Kill. Dream, like the new Queer as Folk series, is set in New Orleans as it struggles to rebuild after a disaster. In the case of Dream, that disaster is the all-too-real destruction wrought by Hurricane Katrina, its aftermath, and the government's inaction. Dream focuses on the New Orleans music scene and the historic Dream neighborhood. Among the styles of music showcased in the series are the bounce and sissy bounce genres. Bounce and sissy bounce often feature sexual lyrics and LGBTQ+ performers. Be sure to keep an eye out for Big Frida's performances. Dream is streaming on HBO Max. Watch on HBO Max. Heartstopper, 2022 present. This wholesome feel-good romantic comedy focuses on British teens Nick, Kid Connor, and Charlie, Joe Locke, and their budding relationship. The two try to navigate high school, friendships, and the stress of coming out to their largely supportive friends and families. Heartstopper's script was written by Alice Oseman, who also wrote the comic it is based on. The comic style carries over to the TV series with animation interspersed in the primarily live-action series. Heartstopper has warmed hearts since it debuted on Netflix in April 2022. The first season is streaming on Netflix and the series has been renewed for 2 more seasons. The webcomic the series is based on is free to read on webtoons.com. Watch on Netflix. Skins, 2007 to 2013. Skins was a groundbreaking series when it first premiered, and its often controversial depiction of teens and their experiences with sex, drugs, and mental illness has fascinated and disturbed audiences since the first season aired in 2007. Every 2 seasons focuses on a new generation of students in Bristol and the struggles they face. Series 1 was particularly memorable for its fantastic cast, which included Nicholas Hoult as Tony, Dev Patel as Anwar, and Mitch Ure as Maxie. The friendship between Maxie, who is openly gay, and Anwar, who is Muslim, is one of the more compelling relationships in the show as they both struggle with what those identities mean to them and what tolerance and friendship look like. Attempts to create an American version of Skins were largely unsuccessful as the US version ran for only one season. The UK Skins remains a classic and is streaming on Hulu. Watch on Hulu.